Wow, talofa lava and malo elelei, and welcome to your BluTable Talanoa. We have rebranded and we are so excited because with the new name we can actually open it up to more of our Pasifika, a wide range of stories. So we're not going to limit ourselves to just Samoans, Bekako Samoa. So today we have a very special guest, Serena Wilson, the CEO, owner of Celebrate Aotearoa, a contemporary textile artist, fashion designer, a multiple award winner for South Pacifica, New Zealand. And not only is she that amazing, she also did a piece 2011 designed a dress for Miss Samoa, Naya Laufiso. But she's actually Tongan and European descent. Talofa lava, maloa lele. Thank you so much, Serena Wilson, for joining us today here on BluTable Talanoa. How are you today?
Talofa, thank you for having me. I'm good, thank you.
Good.
Yeah.
You know, we've been talking a lot about, we've highlighted all of your achievements, but there's more to your story than all of this. And, obviously, you've received a lot of and then you've also done the hard yards to get to where you are. But before we get into that, tell us a little bit more of your background and, your Tongan and European descent. So you're Afakasila Lekenge. And you come from a village, Kolomatua. So shout out to all of our Tongan viewers who are tuning in. If you're half Tongan too, because a lot of our viewers are Samoan, but we are working through that transition and we're excited to invite our beautiful Tongan guest today. Serena, sorry, I'm going to call you Rena, sorry.
Yeah.
With your work, your background.
Yeah, so I'm originally from East Auckland, born and raised. For the past couple of years, I have moved and opened a business out here in South Auckland, Otara. Yeah, my background spans probably 25 years in the fashion arts sector. In business, management, buying. So, yeah, that's...
You mentioned you're from East Auckland because I used to, and I'm sure there's heaps of our viewers are from East Side. East Auckland, you know, a lot of, what do you call it, growing up, you know, a lot of the time, you know, you get this, they shine a different light on the certain areas.
Yeah.
But you were raised in East Auckland. What street? Because I know it's a popular area.
So I was actually off. I used to live on off Fenchurch, so some people might be familiar with that. Great area.
Yeah.
Our area is probably a lot considered back then the lower socioeconomic side. So you know, I went to GI Intermediate, all the local schools.
Yeah.
I believe that, and because back then, we didn't have like a majority kind of like ethnicity in our schools. So we had mixed Tongan, Samoan, Māori, European, a cookie.
Yeah.
So it was pretty diverse.
Yeah.
And I think growing up from the area, it kind of helped, I don't know, mould me as well.
Yeah.
Just sort of, you know.
Yeah, well, because, you know, I know a lot of the time they put labels or, you know, the society, you know, GI is a certain, South Auckland. But you've done really well for yourself. So I'm excited to learn and to listen to a little bit more of your story. But your piece for Miss Samoa as well, that's interesting. And that's connected us as well to your work. And actually, you know, the Miss Samoa piece is now, they've acquired it for Te Papa Museum. That's amazing. Well, you know, we'll talk a little bit more about that after the break. But is there anything else, you know, with growing up in East Auckland and now you reside in Otara? How is that, you know, your background with that? Like, you know, like that transition from East Auckland to South Auckland, has it?
Well, we were we were living right in sort of, I don't know, Grand Central where they did the redevelopment. So a lot of families were moved out of the area. And for me, South Auckland was just a no-brainer because I'm a bit of an introvert, so I don't know anywhere else but East and South. So it's kind of like the sister neighbourhood, you know, like everywhere you go. I had family grow up in Otara and Mangere in the 80s and 90s, so
it was just home.
Yeah, it's home.
It's still home. Still the same. Anyways, we're going to go into a little bit into a music break, but before we go into a music break, we would like to make a few acknowledgements. BluTable Talanoa, you know, we're based here at the Pacific Business Hub, and we here at BluTable Talanoa, we want to acknowledge all of the business that surround our small business as well, and we want to support them as well. So if you are looking for any kind of assistance, whether you are an existing business or a new business, or you've got an awesome idea to set up your business, head down to the Pacific Business Hub. Laura is happy to help you grow, and she's been amazing. And I know that you've also had some kind of, you know, you're connected with Laura as well, and she's helped you and directed you as well with your small business. But Akono Accounting, no brainer.
Yes.
Obviously, you know, if you're a Pacific, you know, you own your own business, Samoan, Cook Island, Tongan, this is the place. They will know your background and all of the lovelies that come with it. So I know that they'll be able to kind of cater and accommodate to our needs as Pasifika people. Laura's great like that. She knows where to draw the line, how to direct you. And I know that she's given me advice as well for our small business. But Laura, the Pacific Business Hub, come down. Everyone is welcome. Akono Accounting, Christy Morgan Barrister, Agnew Accounting, Timaloa Law, Pacific 40, Saturday Fly, Cover Shore Insurance, Digicel Macanet, and of course, the one and only ET Live, here with the Blue Wave team, Blue TV. So if you're looking for a home, head down to the Pacific Business Hub. We're going to go into a music break, and straight after the break, we're going to talk a little bit more about the patterns of the Pacific. Auckland Museum, your work that's now there at Auckland Museum, and also Te Papa Museum in Wellington. Straight after the break. Stay tuned.
Do a cover for y'all. Ai etele itu ua oa utoi manatu fia momoli atu Sausana iluman mea etutu buai Ole nu na mati ole afai Leo oni rosa e leo lai On leo te for so se mea o te mawhaia. Mata utuana mo oe o lo unei mana o. Paulava se aro o te avatu o manatu ya oia te au. Paulea o te ofo ina atu au nei mo oe.
And we're back. We are back. Yes, you can see if you've just tuned in, we have changed a little bit. We've made a few rearrangements, and our marketing team have rebranded Traffic Jammed, which is now a BluTable Talanoa, which is quite exciting because it doesn't restrict us to only hang out of Samoa. Now we've just got our special guest today, Serena Wilson, who is of Tongan and European descent, but she also designed a dress for Miss Samoa in 2011, and now that piece is now sitting at Te Papa Museum in Wellington. So congratulations. I know that must have taken a lot of, it's a lot of work, but that must be a very proud moment for you as well, to have your work now showcasing in Te Papa Museum. That's a big thing.
Yeah. Sure, I honestly count myself blessed to have the work, showcased down there.
Yeah.
Especially after so many years in the industry and stuff. So,
because you've obviously been doing this for a long time, but contemporary textile artist. Mō ka kole mai moa. Contemporary is a word that, it's not often used, and it's not really common in our Pasifika world, and it hasn't quite yet been fully accepted. It's ole contemporary. It's kind of like where we say we've taken something that's our traditional wear, similar to what our marketing team did with BluTable Talanoa. They kind of amped it up a little bit just so that we are able to kind of reach out to different people and share more stories here on Talanoa, BluTable Talanoa. What was the purpose or behind why the contemporary style? The purpose behind all of that?
So because growing up half caste, or half Palangi and half Tongan, we were kind of restricted to our Pacific Island side. Growing up strict, like we weren't allowed to speak the language and stuff at home. So my grandmother, she was quite artistic, and she would crochet pieces and blankets. So for me, it was kind of like keeping my connection to my, culture kind of thing, because I was so distant, and we kind of just held on to little bits of what we could hold on to growing up. And because, of course, I couldn't do it the traditional way, for me, it was how I saw things and how I connected with my, my history, my roots.
Yeah. And, and I know that a lot of the time, I've felt a little bit disconnected because sometimes I don't understand fully, our culture and the traditions. But the kind of angle that you're coming into you're saying it's okay to be different, it's okay to hold on, and that's your way of understanding and connecting back with Tonga.
Yeah, that was, I felt like it was my, because mum was an only child, so we had a very small family unit, and I did not have many people to learn from.
Yeah.
So that, for me, it was, some of it may have been right, may haven't, not been right, but there was a lot of learning, a lot of, I guess, a little bit of judgment, possibly being, not so much clued onto, that side. But I think as I've gotten older, I've developed a bit of a thicker skin.
Yeah.
To I do what I love.
Yeah.
I'm inspired by my background. The people before me are now gone.
Yeah.
So I don't care what people think.
Yeah.
And
do
for
what
me,
you
I
love.
feel like I do it respectfully.
Yeah.
And in that way, that's a representation of me, and that kind of like is for my children and my grandchildren, and
That's so, and I love that. I love that you still, you've still acknowledged both, because you are Afakasi, and you've taken that contemporary part from obviously your European side, and now you've put it together with your Tongan, heritage, and now it's and you've formed an art that's now sitting displayed at not only the Te Papa Museum, but also Auckland Museum. Producer Lemo, do you have? We've got a few images here that we're going to display. Just some of your previous work here. This one is. I'm really interested in this one. It is very different, but this one is actually there at the Auckland Museum, and Maori mink.
Yeah.
What's with the name?
Yeah. So on that note of talking a lot about my own culture. Going back probably 20 years in the days of Style Pacifica and Cult Couture, the kind of idea for these fashion shows was to enter and submit something that was inspired by culture. And a lot of this was for Cult Couture Fashion Awards in South Auckland. And there was a section, Recycled Revolution.
Yeah.
So we... I kind of like do a lot of work where taking from, the local Chinese shops and reworking it. Because, back then when our designs were put into these stores, it was like, oh, it was cool, and like fast forward 20 years later, you're a little bit more woke. You're like, oh, that's not actually cool. You know what I mean?
But
like
when I saw that piece, it does connect not only to our Māori Pacific, because it's what you find in all of our homes.
Yeah.
It's kind of, but this is me looking, at it from an arts perspective. If, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's sitting in Auckland Museum, and this next piece is also sitting in Auckland Museum, which is Masi 3000. Masi 3000 obviously is a Tongan term, Tongan name. No,
inspired by Fiji as well.
Fiji. Oh, see.
So a little bit of a
mix. But that's where the contemporary part comes in with the arts. So you can explore all avenues. And I love that. I really, really, really love that. So recycled, what materials did you use for this?
So this was recycled leather look fabric.
Yeah.
So we have a bit of there was a room, stock room in Pamua at the time that were making bags and leather seat coverings and stuff. So I would go along and just check out what they made friends with the owner, and just.
And this is what is, and you display all of the unique artwork, contemporary artwork in your shop. In your store. And not only for yourself, for your work, you also help other businesses, other small businesses to grow.
So with all these show works that I did at the time, sort of like going through the years, there was a kind of like we had a clique. We had a bit of a mix of designers that we were all entering to showcase our work. At the same time, we were all trying to make a bit of money.
Yeah.
And so we would all kind of like compete with each other, and it was awesome, and it was a good time. I also was a single parent, so a lot of the time I would enter, but intend to try and place to try and make a little bit of money because, you know, if anyone knows being a single parent, you know.
Yeah.
So that was a time for me, I guess, learning, expressing myself, appreciating other cultures. I don't do this work as much anymore. Like I have exhibited and stuff, but probably not as much. And so just moved forward to my business, my current business, which is Celebrate Aotearoa.
Tell us a little bit more about the name, Celebrate Aotearoa. It's kind of like your Tongan.
Yeah.
I'm trying to, you haven't, I thought a lot, which is it's not unusual to connect back to New Zealand.
Yeah.
But you've obviously acknowledged New Zealand in such a massive way with naming your shop this. What inspired you to name?
So February last year, I handed in my notice to my full-time job.
Yeah.
And we were going to go into business with a friend who opened a gallery in Otahu. And then the lockdown happened. Yeah. The gallery closed down and I was, you know, out of work. And just during, you know, because surreal times, new times, I was like, I'm a bit stubborn. I still believed in, you know, the Tongan side, maybe.
I think it's the Samoan side too.
I had no money, you know, and I was like, I'm still going to do this. I didn't know how, but so I started reaching out to my connections. We have a Samoan artist, Faliata Walesi. Like I shot off an email to him because he exhibited in the gallery, I think the year before. And I was like, hey, this is what I want to do. I want to open space. I want to support our artists, our local artists. Are you interested? And
I'm just kind of like, you pretty much just went into this not knowing what the outcome was going to be.
Yeah,
you took a risk.
I knew I didn't want to, because I've already been amongst the arts, and I had worked somewhere where we supported New Zealand artists. But one of the main things that I saw in this platform was support for Māori and Pacific.
Yeah.
And, you know, in saying that, there are people out there that do have their works in mainstream retail, but it was more the startups that couldn't necessarily produce and provide for mainstream retail, and I could see and knew that it could coexist with existing small business, and so that's the kind of platform that I wanted to create.
Yeah. How difficult is it? I know I've jumped this only because we know as a small business it's with COVID. And not only with COVID, there are so many barriers and so many challenges for a small business. What were the challenges for you?
You know, I'm not going to lie. Like, I get awesome feedback and appreciate the followers that I have and support that I've had so far on Instagram and Facebook. And I guess a lot of people see the maybe glamorous side too. I just throw up a lot of content. And I'm like, this. But it has been, you have to be consistent. You have to be consistent. You know, there's some weeks where I, you know, might make $30 in a day or $300, you know. But I think with my background and stuff, I've been quite resilient where I don't want to give up. You know, nothing compares to, you know, being a single parent, and you know, I was like, that's
you can do it.
Yeah, I can do it.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that is, it's your you know, you're fighting to get through all of this, and you're not going to give up.
No.
And you fought through it, and you didn't give up, and you know, through all of the challenges, you knew that COVID hit, but you took the risk anyway, and I'm pretty impressed. And it's not easy. And I know. Do you have any advice for anyone that's following you and any other small businesses? What's your advice? Like, if there's one advice that you can give that's free, that's not going to cost anyone anything.
Yes.
What kind of advice is that? Like, that you can give to help not only your small business, but reach out to others?
Yeah, I would suggest doing a bit of research. I think with these times, people have had to adapt, and they, just sort of go all gung-ho out there, online, with from food to, arts or whatever. But know your product, know your research, know your purpose. Research. I feel that I have the confidence, because I've been in this industry for so long, that I welcome challenges, because I know, I guess, that sector, but yeah, don't give up. And know your point of difference, I think, especially as well. I think there's so many people now that, and it's really great to see Māori and Pacifica out there. But yeah, know your point of difference, and yeah, keep at it. And I'm happy to give tips and stuff if anyone wants to come through.
Yeah, and you are based in the Otara market. I'm going to say Otara because that's how you say it, eh?
Yeah.
Because I go Otara.
Yeah, no, that's
Otara. Sorry.
Yeah, no, so I've been very lucky to be able to trade with my Big Bright Idea, trade out of the Otarakai village. They put up an ad on Facebook around the time of my Big Bright Ideas, I'm going to do this. Leases were out of the question, or retail leases were out of the question. So this one came about, and we started operating around October last year. So I'm in the purple container.
Yeah, I like that idea though.
Yeah.
How cool was that? Obviously there's, COVID hit, that's come about. How close are you with your surrounding, and how awesome is the support? Is it?
I love it. I love it. It's, again, like going into the area. It's it's like home. I've said it before. It's like home. We have our regulars that come through all the time, and I know if people don't. Support can come in a lot of ways, not only financially, but a lot of people are just sharing our content, and appreciate. Like, share, repost.
Just casually, just like, share.
Every day.
But it is. I spoke briefly with our marketing team on the importance of your online presence, and there's been a lot of work here with Blue as well. How important is it for your small business, and what can we do as your audience, as our people? What can we do to help that part of?
I'm pretty open to, like, even though I sit here and say, I experienced and so on. I'm open to all feedback. If someone, so for example, in store, some of our Niue mamas come through and they're like, "Where's Niue?" And I'm like, "Sorry, I'm working on it." Trying to get more artists, diverse artists through. But yeah, not only if coming through the store, but just a simple like and share. But yeah, definitely feedback to grow with, even if it's not necessarily good.
It helps.
It helps. It helps, and at least you kind of builds you to know which direction to kind of grow in, or what you might be missing something. Yeah.
So you have a lot of different artists and their work displayed in. You're helping them as well as showcasing their work. Has it been difficult to kind of have everyone there in one space, or how does that work?
To be honest, I think now for me, I'm finding it hard to keep up, because now I'm getting approached online from different artists to be able to stock their work. and some I have taken on from there, and some I haven't emailed back. I'm so sorry. Just trying to keep
Comment below.
Trying to
Let us know your
please don't give feedback on that one. Yeah, no. So it's just trying to keep up now. But people are now coming for that specific artist to support them, and I'm very particular about, because it's you have a responsibility.
Yeah.
And so you have to know the person, know their work, appreciate their work, and being a maker myself.
Yeah.
So people come in now and they might be, this is, I'm looking for color jewelry, or they're real specific they know who they want, and they know that I stock them. So, and in my humble container shop. Yeah. So. Yeah,
but that's still a really, really nice way to showcase, and you're supporting, your local artists, and that's pretty wicked. That's awesome. That is awesome. So, big ups to you. We've spoken about your challenges, but we still haven't really touched up on the Miss Samoa piece. How did that come about?
So through our group of designers for Culture Fashion Awards, we kind of got familiar in different communities, and so was approached to for a Miss Samoa contestant, where I submitted commission pieces for each section kind of thing. And this was probably early days. This was like 2011, 10, 11. And so that was important for me because I, not being Samoan myself, that representation, and just being careful with, design and
it's really hard because you're Tongan, but then you would have obviously had to do your research. It was we didn't manage to get that full piece, but it was beautiful the way you hand stitched everything.
So, hand sewn, hand sewn.
So if you're in Wellington, guys, Miss Samoa, the piece is in Te Papa Museum, so that's awesome. With the model, Miss Samoa, does she approach you, or?
We met, I think, through our connections as well. Yeah, lovely.
Yeah, she's stunning.
I was
Naya. So shout out to Naya Laufiso. She's very stunning. Check her profile online. But how does she place? Does she?
To be honest, my memory is bad. So I know there was different sections. I think that because I think with each section there was a winner So I know So but my memory's bad. Sorry, which ones? I know there was Anyways, we're just going to go into a quick music break. I think we need a little bit of a breather because I'm like going on, and I'm like asking all these questions. Stay tuned because right up next, we're going to talk a little bit about your advice that you would have given to your younger you. And it's like, I don't know. Do you have any good advice? Not only that, hidden talents, and we've got a giveaway. That we wanted to present for, obviously, Celebrate Aotearoa. Stay tuned, everyone. If you've got any questions about the fashion or contemporary textile art area, throw your questions down below, and we are happy to assist you or direct you where you want. Otherwise, follow Celebrate Aotearoa. She'll be able to answer all your questions. Stay tuned.
Mai mai lue mai no mai lulu oli ma siva mai pusi lau panga mai tango pa ata mai ata mai ata mai tik ata mai
Welcome back. If you've only just tuned in, we do have the awesome Serena Wilson, owner and
Stop.
CEO, stop it,
Stop.
CEO of Celebrate Aotearoa. Thank you so much to everyone that's tuning in. This is that contemporary art, or artwork for Ingali. Everyone's like, what's this? What is this? But Serena's taken her passion, put a little bit of Serena on it, put a little bit of twist on it, to make it unique to you. And people love it. She has her shop in Otara, and not only has she done the contemporary textile arts, fashion designer, a multiple award winner for Style Pacifica Awards. And I'm going to drop in 2011, where she designed a dress for Miss Samoa. That's right, Miss Samoa. And it's now displayed in Te Papa Museum in Wellington. So if you're in Wellington, check out her work down in Wellington. And also here in Auckland Museum, some of your previous work. Massive shout out to all of your designers and the people that did you want to do a plug-in for some of, or you might forget, there's a few. Better not. Check out.
We can sit here for 5 hours if you want. I don't know how.
But it is supporting your local creatives, a platform, a place, a home away from home. I'm going to keep going. We're laughing at the images. But the Blue Talanoa table, proudly brought to you by the Pacific Business Hub, Sei Oriana gift shop in Mangele, Makanet, and of course, Vetero celebrations and events. Now, how do you say now in Tongana? I'm just kidding. So, advice. What advice would you give to the younger Serena?
Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. On the spot.
On the spot.
On the spot.
What would you give? What advice would you give to someone who has the passion to do all of this, but it's not really something right now that has been kind of fully. A lot of our Samoan and our Pasifika people have accepted that there is the contemporary outside of our culture, and that they've embraced it, because a lot of the artwork that we see behind us as well, it is contemporary. It's like a beautiful piece that you've brought in today. What advice would you give her?
I guess the first and main thing would be believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Don't be discouraged.
Yeah.
Don't be discouraged if you get knocked down. You could get 10, dislikes before you get that one, that matters kind of thing.
Because I read something that there was a program a meme that was displayed on Facebook that said no, 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 and then because you briefly touched up on your work that's now displayed in Auckland Museum.
Yes, that's
and
right.
that's similar to your advice now. That you get a lot of no's, and then you get there's a lot of things where you've kind of gone through. It's not a win in someone else's eyes. But for that piece, tell us a little bit about that one.
The pieces in the Auckland Museum, for example, yes, they were put into shows, contemporary pieces of, my surroundings, inspired by other cultures. But these pieces, I didn't actually win a category in the show with. And, for it to be approached, you know, like again, you know,
Yeah.
blessed to have that opportunity to showcase my work, and you know, to be kept safe for years to come. That you know, my generation, or like you know,
Yeah.
the ones after me.
I'd love to have my work now displayed at the Auckland Museum, but that's a massive thing.
Yeah,
It's your keepsake. It's there. It's your work. It's your story there at the museum, and you're in an area displaying your work with, you know, people that we honour. So that's that you didn't win the competition, but the artwork.
Yeah.
There was that artwork has obviously ruffled a few feathers, and it's made you've made a statement,
Yeah.
and it's now in
Yeah.
Auckland Museum.
Yeah, so, you know, again, with that advice of, you know, to not give
Yeah.
up, believe in yourself.
Yeah.
You know, and I was not approached straight away with all these pieces, but I'm a bit of a hoarder as well. So,
We need
Just
to do another
quietly.
hoarder show.
so, you know, I took, you know, I
Yeah.
put so much into these pieces that I kept them, and to be approached, you know,
Yeah.
years later, because this is going back, oh gosh, 1998. Yeah, 1998. Since then, you know, so yeah, don't give up.
Don't give up.
Don't give up. Believe in yourself. Don't be discouraged.
Yeah.
Yeah. On that note too, my family actually wanted me to be a lawyer.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about that. Like,
They wanted me to
let's
be a
be
lawyer.
honest.
Yeah.
The top five is probably first be a doctor,
But, yeah.
lawyer, a teacher when I was pilot.
Yeah. Yeah.
What is it? But and oh no, this is number one. Sorry, a minister.
Oh
Or
yes.
marry a minister.
That might be my
That's
son.
number one. So that's our top five. I think is marry a minister, be a minister, lawyer, a doctor, a school teacher, or pilot has been probably the top five. When you grow up,
Yes.
that you've
Yeah.
proved that you can you've obviously gone a different direction, but you still have the success story, and your work is displayed in Auckland Museum. I'm just
not.
saying. Just stop it. I'm just saying. Which doctors are? Sorry, no, I don't want to. But do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Contemporary art is, and that's your success story. Eh?
Yeah.
I know, so a lot of that, and just so humble, so humble, really, just quietly.
Just quietly.
But obviously, the future. How is the future looking for you?
I hope I can continue on with this path, with this dream of mine. I ideally I do want to go into a retail space. Location, I don't know what that's going to look like yet. I for me personally, like I have little goals where I do need to work on my my website, because a lot of traffic, you know, it's still unpredictable times with COVID and lockdowns. But that's probably my own personal goal is to focus and hopefully build around that. Reply to my emails. Sorry.
Apologies.
Reply to my emails.
Communication.
And
Because you, as a small business, the
Yes.
communication part
Yes.
obviously does get on top of you.
yeah.
But because you run your business by yourself,
Because I run it by myself, so I'm the
you're
the face, the
salesperson, the marketing manager,
the online social media guru.
Aw. But
Yeah.
you've done it.
Yeah, all getting there.
Getting
yeah,
there.
yeah. Hopefully to grow.
What are some fun hidden talents? Do you have any fun hidden talents that we need to know about?
I won a competition for dancing.
You won a competition for dancing? Tongan dance?
Oh,
No. Contemporary.
yeah. GI intermediate.
GI intermediate dance.
Does that count? No, sorry. Probably a secret that not many people know is I met some people through the missus. Oh yes, and I was in a pageant myself many moons ago, but those photos are hidden
Hidden photos.
because I'm scarred.
Hidden talents. So that's...
I love to create. No, sorry, I love to create and have the person wear the piece, but it's
So a little bit of experience. Fashion, then the pageant. Love it. I love that you are so talented and you've hidden all of it. If there was anything that you can change, would you change anything with your journey, with back in the day?
To be honest, I don't think I would say I would change anything. I believe, I'm that person that says everything happens for a reason. And it hasn't always been like, roses kind of thing, but I wouldn't have grown in the direction that I, have grown. I count myself blessed and lucky that, I own my own home through hard work, and I do worry about like my son, like the next generation.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just count myself blessed.
Blessed, definitely. Obviously, you haven't been to Samoa. We spoke about that earlier, but you have your favourite Samoan dish.
Yes.
Describe it, and I'll try and guess.
I think it's a bread
game.
Bread. I think it's a bread. Coconut
Bread.
Flour, obviously.
No, that's not.
It's quite hard, I think, but it's probably my favourite dish. I love.
Put my hand in the box.
Having it with tea. Starts with F, I think.
F. Falawa. No, that's bread. No coconut. Oh, yes. I think I got it. So it's a little bit hard. Coconut. Whapapa.
Yes, that's the one. Yeah, that's that's probably my
auntie makes the bomb whapapa. Talking about whapapa, we're not doing cooking. We're not doing cooking at the moment. That is going to be announced a little bit later in the show.
Oh, am I coming?
Like,
to taste test?
I don't know how to cook, but no. Maybe when we put on this, maybe after when we announce it. So whapapa. Do you have any other favourite Samoan dishes?
My goodness.
Those not the hard questions
Gosh,
there.
Well, I love my food, as you can,
No,
maybe able to
anyways.
tell. Thank you. There's probably no dish that I don't like.
Yeah. So
Yes.
Whapapa is your number one.
I mean, we could have the whole spread, but that's my go-to.
That's your
my
go-to.
kind of like,
Before we go, you have a giveaway that's happening. We've got a giveaway. Please, producer Lemo, if you haven't already, head over to Celebrate Aotearoa, hit like, and there's a Mother's Day giveaway. And the artist is actually a local Samoan tatau artist.
Yes.
If you want to just, should we just grab the artwork behind you?
Grab it. Okay.
I should have grabbed it, eh? So there is a giveaway that celebrates Aotearoa, have on their page, and it's a beautiful piece right here. And can you see? We don't want it to glare. There we go. That's a beautiful, and this is also a contemporary art. And the artist name, please.
Yes, so this is a female artist, but Tyler Vaiao. Artist, Samoan tatau practitioner. She actually did this piece for me, so it represents my son, who's half Samoan as well.
Oh.
So yeah, it's
Some Samoan patterns, yeah.
Yeah, so a bit of the representing that mix. So this giveaway was actually a limited edition piece that she has done. So they've all sold out. There's only 40 in this size, and we're giving it away on our Facebook page.
For Mother's Day.
For Mother's Day.
For Mother's Day. So if you've got, if you haven't already, like Blue TV, Blue Wave, and now giveaway on Celebrate Aotearoa, head up the page. And this is a local Samoan artist. That's beautiful.
Yeah, I love it.
It's stunning. I thought this was a present for me.
Oh, I'm sorry. that was the chocolate biscuit that I bought.
Okay. Those sorry, not for me. Okay. No, that's beautiful. I love it. Only 40. Stunning work.
We actually sold out of her work when I put it online, so it was only available through our store, and we had a few pieces of her range.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I had to announce I'm putting this on our website 12 o'clock tomorrow, and within 10 minutes the whole range sold out. Yeah, wow. I couldn't keep up. It was exciting and scary at the same time, but that was awesome.
No, it's a beautiful piece. It's a beautiful, and this is the last one.
That is there's no more in that size, all signed as well by
I'm
the
going
artist.
to like the page and share. That's all. Did you have, before we wrap up the show, did you have any final words of encouragement for our Pasifika people, or for whoever is watching? Do you have any of your final words of encouragement?
Just the don't give up kind of aspect, I guess. Not many people know I don't do a lot of interviews. I'm a little bit, bit of an introvert, bit of, sort of like
So
high anxiety.
We're very blessed.
So, and at my young age, just stepping out and doing, I've got to step out of my comfort zone to put myself out there. So don't be afraid to make that leap. I think a lot of people these days, though, they're a bit more open, with the world of social media. But I'd just like to thank BluTable Talanoa for having me.
Oh,
thank you for...
it's been so good. But only because, the advice that you've given us in contemporary, it's not really what... But it's still your success story. And I love it. And this is contemporary art.
I guess it's
contemporary as well.
It's that the growth, the progression. I mean, we do have our traditional,
and of course respect.
Yeah.
But this is your way of connecting back to your roots. Did you have any shout outs that you wanted to make?
Oh, my son. To my son Phoenix,
handsome half Samoan,
my nephews Faua and Georgie,
yes.
and our niece Mele.
Yeah, and of course the dad. Hey, have to.
No,
not
no, not the parents.
The parents. It's been an absolute pleasure having you today to share your story. Your struggles, the strengths, your purpose, what's driven you. Thank you. I know that you someone really forced you to come and do a little Talanoa, but we really appreciate it, and we look forward to seeing a lot more work from you and from all of our local artists, and definitely going to invite more of our artists to come on and share their story through to you. But thank you so much, everyone, for staying tuned. Tomorrow we do have another female guest. She is half Samoan, half Indian. So don't forget to tune in tomorrow. She is the owner of Good Grace Styling, and she's got a bit of a story. And half Indian, half Samoan. How about that? Exotic. No, I'm not Indian, but I could be exotic too. Stay tuned. If you've said anything that we've offended anyone, please, we apologize. We're just sharing our stories here on our platform. Massive whawhitai lava to Laura here at the Pacific Business Hub, also to Makanet, Se Oriana there in Mangele, Maitola Celebrations, and everyone here at the Pacific Business Hub. Thank you for your love and support. We're out. God bless. Have a wonderful Wednesday afternoon. Bye.
Alo alo umaru, malawan ano